Hey guys, this is VVV Shaft. With me today is mMeAlkresh. How you doing, Al? This is VVV Shaft.
I'm doing just
With me
fine.
today is mMeAlk. Apparently forgot to pause my own stream. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty well.
All right, good to hear, man. We're going to be covering the SC2 Tour games of LG versus Starcraft strategy. Actually, a little bit of a funny story about this is the games happened last night. I had the opportunity to cast them live because with StarCraft 2 strategy, I had an audition for casting, and they're like, hey, show up. Well, I also cast for LegitGaming, and I'm scheduled to cast these tonight. Hey, Siberian, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Well, anyways, I had this opportunity to cast for StarCraft 2 Strategy live last night. Now I'm also scheduled to cast them tonight for LegitGaming. So that's what we're doing tonight. I've selected the highlights, the best of the best matches from last night we're going to be looking at tonight. And like I said, with me is a top North American Grandmaster, Alkresh. He's a good friend of mine, been on the show quite a bit lately. And I really look forward to his high-level analysis as we move through these games. Okay, so I am going ahead, pulling up the first match. We're going to go ahead and pause it a minute and get it synced up, and we'll do a 3, 2, 1 go countdown and be good to go. Is that good with you, Al?
Yep.
Alrighty, getting it to a minute mark. And let me answer a question in chat real quick. Okay, and like I was just explaining to one of the guys who asked in LegitGaming, all the games were actually played simultaneously last night. So as a caster, I couldn't be in 8 places at once. So I was able to cast what I could with the time span we had, and now we're doing a recast of the best games from replays. I'm at a minute now, Alkresh. Are you about ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, bro. Let's get this unpaused. And 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, still at 8 times speed. Oops, I'm at 112, 113, 114. That about right?
Yeah, close enough.
Cool deal. Here on the top right-hand side of one of my favorite maps, Cloud Kingdom, we have LegitGaming's very own Top. Now, he is a really strong Zerg player, but his opponent down here on the bottom left-hand side, the red Zerg, Isaac, is going for a really early pull. I believe this was a 10 pull if my memory serves me. He is actually part of SCS's D team. Their A team had previous engagements last night and were not able to show up. So this is the underdog in this match, and he knows it, so he's going to try and get a really easy win just moving into this first game.
Yeah. Early pools have become stronger and stronger in the recent metagame. Queens are stronger, overlords are faster, so a pool after overlord, but before hatch has become weaker, and thus the hatchery first has become very strong. So plays like this have also become more popular because it plays on the fact that everyone wants to get up those really fast hatches.
Yeah, absolutely. So the metagame being more fast hatch, obviously early pools are going to be stronger against that. Rock, paper, scissors play.
Yeah, it's very irritating to play. And LG Top has gone for the middle ground. He's gone for a pool, then a hatchery, but he has no gas. And I think this will be enough to hold off what Isaac's doing.
Okay. So here are Isaac's Lings actually showing up. He's running right on past the hatchery. That is exactly what he needs to do here. 4 Lings have spawned for Top. He's going to get one of those brews just a little bit. Isaac, of course, pulling right on back, getting his 7th and 8th drone. Now targeting on the hatchery. That might be a little bit of a mistake. What do you think of that?
He's just buying time until his speed finishes. I mean, this is more of a pressure build with a very fast speed. and it may do a lot of damage. It all depends on the player's control.
Okay, so if he doesn't do a lot of damage, is he significantly behind?
Yes, he's significantly behind. He'll have good tech, but he's down a hatchery.
Okay, so he's trying to buy time for Ling speed, but he has to do damage when Ling speed hits.
Yes.
Okay.
He has to kill several drones, because right now he's down by 4. He is down an expansion. All he has is the speed advantage.
Okay. This doesn't really seem like that great of a build. Maybe I don't understand it.
It's a fantastic build against Hatch First, because when you see a Hatch First, you just keep pumping Lings and you just overwhelm your opponent quickly. But seeing that top did not go Hatch First, he realizes he won't be able to kill his opponent, and he just figures, my best shots, just try and macro up and get a good position in the mid game.
Okay. Alright, so that explains a little bit at least. He's still 3 drones behind, but he does have Ling speed. He has a huge gas advantage. He's doing a lot of damage here to Top's Lings, but it looks like he will survive. He does manage to get back here behind the mineral line, but is that going to really get him anything? He's trying to get these Lings out of position. Queens, however, are going to block him off. There's a lot of Lings that just died there for Isaac, and that's going to set him behind a lot should Top choose to get aggressive.
This is essentially a game-ending position here for Isaac. He's down expansion, he's down in armor supply, he's down in larva, he's down in just about every regard. He doesn't even have a Baneling Nest.
What should he have done to do better?
Baneling Nest is for well, he just did a risky build and it didn't pay off. I mean, there's not much to say about that.
Okay.
He could have gone for a 10 pool without speed, which is a much more economic build and just is aimed to put on pressure, but he tried to go for the complete all-in and then sort of backed out halfway, which didn't really benefit him in the long run.
Okay, and he's just going to continue pushing out Lings right now. He does have a Baneling Nest, but if this attack doesn't work, it's done.
Yeah, and there's almost no way that this attack will work. Most he'll kill some Lings, he'll do some damage to his Queens, but no way he will get all the way back to his opponent's mineral line to do the damage he has to do to get back in.
Fair enough, man. He's splitting up his Banelings so he doesn't lose them all to just a single group, but still not enough. He's throwing Banelings up against Queens. That was even sloppy.
Yeah, he figured he would be able. There was no Lings behind that, but there was plenty. And Top, that was actually a very smart move. He just had his Lings on hold position, let his Queens tank the damage, and then once the Banelings were gone, he just sent his Lings forward to clean up.
That's pretty cool, man. These Lings, dude, they're doing a lot of dancing for Top. I think he already knows he's won this game. Even the Banelings seem like happy Banelings.
Yeah, and that will probably be about it from Isaac. He doesn't have anything to fall back on, and there's GG.
Absolutely. Alrighty, so moving on. Actually, I just realized something. You guys can see the countdown bar you can see the timer. Okay, so before I go into the next match, I'm going to make that so you cannot see it. Just a second. Oh. That is so gay. Alright, so that being said, go here, boom. Wow, I can't believe I switched over to my live cast mode. Oopsie. Current overlay. Yep. We're good now. Shift 4. Shift 3. Shift 5. Good. Alright. Moving on to the next game. This is going to be the second one in the series. Gonna go ahead and get it paused at a minute as well. So, Metalopolis, man. I've heard mixed reviews of this map. Actually, I just had mMeAlkresh on, who was praising it up and down. Me personally, I don't like this map, and I hear a lot of other players that don't as well. How do you feel about it?
It depends completely on the style of the player. I, for one, like it personally, depending on the kind of player I'm going against. It can be very iffy at times. I think the biggest complaint from most players is the gold base, because that can really throw a wrench in everyone's game.
Okay, the third base. Could you be more specific? Like, I know
No, the gold
obviously.
base. The
So,
gold base in the middle.
yeah. In ZVT, the tanks can target down your gold base from theirs, or the Zonaga tower, in that specific case. In ZVP, I'm not so sure about it, and ZVZ, not so sure about it.
Well, in ZVZ, there are occasional players who like to, instead of throwing down a hatchery in their natural, they like to throw down their first hatchery in the gold base, and then just kind of get a huge economic lead, and that makes the game very difficult for both players.
Okay. Gotcha, buddy. So, let's get this unpaused in 3, 2, 1, go. And, alright, so we've got LG's top here on the bottom hand side of Metalopolis. And on the top right hand side, we have Isaac. Isaac is hands down the underdog here, as we discussed in the first game, but he may be able to pull out a win, as, like you said earlier, that last game was more of just a bad roll of the dice than anything else.
Yeah, well, Top's probably feeling very comfortable. He held off the all-in last game, just completely textbook holding of a 10 pool. And that's probably going to have Isaac shaken up too, because that's probably something he does on ladder and he wins with and he's just very confident with. So losing with that is probably going to throw him off his game a little bit.
Okay. Well, that's, that's pretty adept analysis there, man.
Thanks.
So
now,
we've got both players going for the early pull. One does happen to be a little bit quicker than the other, and that quicker pull also getting an expansion up soon. Guess it comes down to one having gas, one not having gas.
Yeah, definitely. Top's just going for the same play that he went last time. He's very defensive, and once Isaac scouts this, if he scouts like that there is no gas, then he should feel free to just drone up to his heart's delight and just basically do whatever he wants for a good 2 or 3 minutes, because without gas, Zerg cannot really be aggressive.
Yeah, so he can't be punished for, say, taking a quick third or just droning up his natural as much as he wants to.
Nah, definitely not. Well, Top is probably just content and satisfied with his macro ability, that he's just going to drone up himself and just take a safe position and then get aggressive in the mid game.
So what kind of playstyles are you expecting in the mid game now? I mean, Mutalisk builds seem to be getting phased out now.
It completely relies on the player who's behind the computer. Right? It's very hard to tell.
Okay. You're right, it's hard to tell, but if you were, say, playing this and scouting for it, what would you be looking for?
The timing on the gases at the natural, and how many queens, Ling speed, banelings, how many spine crawlers, how defensive they're being, essentially.
Okay. If they're being incredibly defensive, not
most likely Muta, actually.
Okay.
Because Mutas require that heavy defense to hold off any bushes because they don't have any roaches.
Fair enough. Really, really wide map, or really wide natural, I should say. So I guess Spinecrawler's not as effective on this map.
They can actually be very effective with a good SimCity, but still not as effective as on other maps. Well, right now Isaac's sort of falling behind in macro. He's down a few drones. Actually, no longer down any drones.
I do like this 4-lane wall off at the ramp of Top. I mean, that's played a big role. Even in with these 4 lanes right here, trying to get up there, boom, right there.
Yeah, it's just very safe, solid play, and it prevents scouting. Like, preventing scouting is very important in CBZ, because Overlords are difficult to get back there. Scouting the gas timing is incredibly important, and he does not know that Top only just now took his gas.
Okay. And so it's important to see when the second gas is taken as well?
Oh, it's every gas is important in this matchup.
Okay.
And he also doesn't know that there's a Roach Warren up there. For all he knows, there's a Baneling nest. He doesn't know about the Evolution Chamber. He knows nothing.
I gotcha. Both players actually working on their Roach Warren. One's got it finished, one's about 3/4 of the way done.
Yeah, just minor differences. Neither of them are being overly aggressive right now, so the timing of the Roach Warren isn't too big of a deal.
Okey-doke.
However, Top getting that +1, so he's probably going to go for some sort of timing attack with these roaches.
Is it still common to see a +2 timing attack, or is it more the +1 with roach speed?
+1 with roach speed is somewhat standard these days. Oh,
Ooh,
Isaac coming in with these some
Banelings
Banelings.
off on some drones.
Huge hits from the Banelings. That's just great for Isaac. Oh, more big hits for the Banelings. Just beautiful.
Yeah, that was excellent.
He has done a ton of damage here.
Lings just cleaning up what's left at the natural. Few Lings are being snuck into the main, targeting down drones left, right, to center. He's now 10 drones ahead. He's killed 26 workers so far. He's 14 drones ahead now, actually. These roaches going to be sent across the map in the hopes that he might be able to do some damage with it. Oh,
this is absolutely a best case scenario for Isaac. He got a ton of drone kills. He got a full scout. He knows exactly what's coming. He knows exactly what to do to prepare.
Yeah.
Just needs to pump roaches out. But
he's only got one spine
I don't know
crawler.
if he can. Yeah.
This is a really
This is a lot of roaches.
So, Ling's almost completely useless in this situation?
They actually do act as a good buffer, but you need lots of roach support to effectively deal with this. And he's starting to get that out, but I don't know if it's going to be enough in time.
The spine crawler actually being targeted down first. It is the highest DPS there, as it does extra damage to the roaches. The +1 roaches are there for Top. Isaac, however, not having that upgrade, he's still managing to hold this off.
Yeah, but he's losing plenty of drones, and though I don't know if it's going to be enough to put Top back into this game.
Oh, there's a 9 drone difference right now.
Yep, 9 drone difference. Top has a minor tech lead with that +1, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, basically. This is looking bad for Top. He's gonna have to do something like get a third up. But even these Lings are there to scout him.
Well, a third in this situation wouldn't be very helpful because he doesn't essentially even have a natural right now. He is not droned up at all. There's a bunch of drones actually just sitting idle in his main, getting kind of sloppy.
Yes, sir. Actually, talking to mbat Asphalts from LG right this second. Sorry about that, guys. In any case, Top is doing a good job holding Isaac's aggression. The upgrade playing a huge role in that. These players just kind of going back and forth, shuffling of the roaches. That's something you see a lot. Is it like more you'll see players like attack, defend, and then there'll be a constant push back of the roaches? Why does that happen?
Well, the roaches are very cheap and effective units. It's something that every Zerg player is just like, well, I don't know what to make, so I'll make roaches. It's almost never a bad idea to make roaches, because if they're going mutas, you can just use the roaches to be aggressive, kill drones, and stave off the mutas, or you can use them for map control. It's just plenty of uses for roaches, and so most players are constantly making roaches. When they see roaches coming to their base, they make more roaches. So they fall back because they don't have as many roaches, but when their roaches pop, then they feel fine to push back, and it's just a constant tug of war in most games.
Okay, then. I guess it's better than just letting your roaches sit as your natural passively.
Definitely.
Overseer is in the base for Isaac. He's going to get pretty good read on his opponent. He knows that the lair is just now finishing.
Well, right now, Top's in an all. Actually worked himself to an alright position. He's only slightly behind the drone count. He's getting ahead in the upgrades. He's going to be down in base, though, so he's going to need to make something happen with this +2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Isaac's still behind on upgrades. He's getting the ground armor, though, so that should nullify that just a hair.
Yeah. I mean, this is just one of those things to put yourself in a good position. Like, if your opponent has an upgrade advantage, just get double upgrades, because that'll lessen the extent of the advantage your opponent has.
Are double upgrades good for timing attacks?
They can be, but usually they're actually better in a defensive fashion.
Okay.
Now, Isaac does not know, well, he does know that top is not taking a third, so he should be just making units, in case of sneaking in drones, just preparing for a timing attack. Because he should know that that's the only thing his opponent can possibly do at this point.
Okay. Overlords are actually everywhere on this map. Even top has even got overlords on top of creep. That might be a little bit risky, as queens could just go out there and snipe it without ever losing movement speed.
Yeah, but it's just a risk he's willing to take, apparently. So,
Yeah.
and it's gaining him vision. He knows his opponent's not pushing out, so it's paying off at the moment.
And he's actually using this left-hand side that he doesn't have the best vision of. He's using that as his attack path. So
yeah. So Isaac might be a little underprepared. He's down in the roach count. He's going to be down in the upgrades.
he's got his roaches pre-spread, which his opponent does not, though. So he's got a much better concave here.
And he does have burrow, so I don't see this turning out very well for top. But roaches swinging in. Good concave for Isaac.
This is nice.
It's so hard to tell which way he's going to go, but it looks like Isaac's definitely going to push through this, and this will most likely force the GG out of top.
Yeah, top actually running back home. What time are you at right now? 16:25 for me.
I'm just ever so slightly behind, and okay. I'm back. All right.
We actually have Hydralisk upgrades coming now for Isaac. So he's going to be trying to get much higher DPS than his opponent.
Yeah.
Hydras tend to be a lot more defensive, though, in this situation.
Actually, I highly doubt it. Hydras are very good at just straight up killing your opponent. I mean, right now, what's going to hurt top is that he has a good spread of overlords. And with that comes a risk. He's going to be vulnerable to Hydras. He's most likely going to get supply capped. And Hydras, it's very difficult to deal with him without superior upgrades, which in just a few minutes, Isaac's going to have those superior upgrades, and I don't know if top will be able to hold off a huge Roach Hydra push.
Okay then. That's completely different than I was thinking. See, I was expecting the Hydras to be defensive, being that they were so slow.
They are slow, but they just put out so much damage that it doesn't make too big of a difference just waiting a little while for them.
Okay.
That is one sort of criticism I have for Isaac. His creep spread is very poor.
Absolutely. There is now an Overseer out for top, and that's going to make burrow and burrow movement a bit of an issue for Isaac. Isaac, however, showing he's not quite the underdog we were expecting from that first game.
Well, it's hard to tell whether Isaac is truly on a similar level to top, or whether top just got too far behind from those initial banelings. I mean, he lost so many drones in that engagement. He lost 28 drones total in this game. Wow. That is a huge number.
That is. So now we have Isaac chasing top's roaches back to top's natural. This roach shuffle that we were talking about earlier, man, this is definitely proving to be the case on this left-hand alley.
And this is never a position you want to be in when you're behind on the defensive. Like, if you're behind in drones, behind in economy and tech, then you definitely want to be the aggressor. You want to keep your opponent on the back foot, keep them from putting that tech to good use. But right now, top's just sitting in his base. Not much he can do.
Okay. When do you expect to see like a fourth in ZVZ?
Depends on state of the game, essentially. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a fourth out of top or Isaac right now, because both of them are mining out their mains, and they're going to need somewhere to send those extra drones to.
Okay.
And that gas is always a plus. But right now, it's a better idea for Isaac. And there it goes, taking his fourth.
Great. And
So,
okay.
solid decision making out of Isaac so far, and I predict that this is just going to be the nail in the coffin for Isaac. I mean, for top, because these Hydras are going to do so much damage.
That's true, but top does have a lot more roaches there. If he can kill off the roach numbers of Isaac and get back here to these Hydras, this could be a completely different game.
He's down in upgrades though, so these roaches of Isaac are lasting so much longer than those of top, and you just can't break through that wall of roaches in time to kill the Hydras. And
True story.
Hydras have done all the damage, and top's essentially dead in the water now.
Yep, this third base easily going to fall. All these overlords per put. And now, actually, top is 60 supply behind. He has to know that this is going to be it.
Like, even if he just somehow managed to kill this entire retreating army of Isaac, I still don't see him winning this. I mean, this is all he has left, essentially. And there's the GG.
Yes, sir. Alright, gonna pull up the overlay real quick. Okay, moving on to game 3, gonna get paused at a minute mark, and I'm actually gonna grab a soda and leave you to cover the introductions if you don't mind.
Alright.
Okay. Setting the vision to turquoise so you guys will have some vision of what's going on. I'm at a minute mark. Production tab's up. Control N is up. You ready to start this, bro?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. Be right back. Coke Zero is calling my name.
Alright, so over here in the right side of the map, we got LG top, loser, pretty tight baller dude, and on the left side of the map, if turquoise would be so kind of smooth over there. Ah, he read my mind from the past. How sweet. We have the red Zerg Isaac, representing SCS, and Metropolis, pretty interesting map for ZVZ. It's rather large, which aids in the coin flippiness. However, it means that a pool after Overlord, but before Hatchery, is not that strong. So I expect either a pool hatch first or a pool first.
And this was for which one, I'm sorry?
For either of them. I'm expecting one or the other.
Gotcha, guys, I'm back. This is not a disembodied voice, I promise you. Okay,
Oof.
hatch first, both players. Awesome, great
Yep.
call there. Huge
So,
map.
yeah, it's one of the larger in the map pool for most tournaments these days. And already we see a deviation from the players. Isaac getting that gas before his pool.
And
Top just
showing
doing
his-
that same standard gasless expand.
Yeah, he actually, I've noticed in the last couple of games, he seems to be favoring like lean into roaches rather than banelings, which is kind of the deviation from standard.
Yeah, but it's something that he does very well. He's good at holding off slight pressure and aggression with just queens and slow lanes, and so something he's confident with that he feels can put him in a macro lead because he just wants to get that drone count. However, sometimes it leaves him unprepared, as we saw in the last game, for things such as large baneling aggression.
Yeah, when you don't get banelings quite immediately, that becomes a bit of an issue, especially with a lot of lanes. But give me just a second.
Alright.
Okay, sorry about that.
No
Phone call
problem.
kind of important. My boss needs me to work in the morning. Okay, back to the game though, guys. That was really unprofessional, my fault. But check it out. This is Samu Barbecue and Noodles. They have the best noodles on Court Hall.
Well, right now both players just droning up, and it looks like Isaac is once again going to be the aggressor, getting that faster baneling desk, getting that speed upgrade, and top once again, Roach Warren, Evolution Chamber, double gas.
Yes, sir.
Same as last game.
Well, he's definitely consistent. That's for sure.
Yeah, this is actually one thing I think is a problem in a lot of players' play, who they don't have that much practice. They don't have a lot of builds under the belt. They don't mix it up in a best of 3. They just do the same thing 3 times, and just hope it works out. Hope their opponent doesn't play to their style. And Isaac might be doing just that because he's doing the same thing he did last game, and this might do a lot of damage.
It's very, very possible. Isaac, again, considered the underdog in this tournament, so he's going with the way, way, way more aggressive style. However, he's morphing Banelings right underneath an Overlord. There are 3 Queens blocking this ramp. All these drones pulled immediately, mineral walking right on through the Queen wall. This doesn't look like it's going to do very much damage, especially with the Roaches there and the Queen up there.
Yeah, this attack is just going to be a complete bust. Like, almost no damage done.
Queen dead. 2 Queens dead.
2 Queens dead, yes.
But nowhere near the investment Isaac has.
Yeah. Isaac lost a lot of Lings, a lot of Banelings, and just, quite frankly, didn't do that much. And pretty big drone advantage right now. 7 drones ahead.
Isaac is going to get into the main, going to get a little bit of scouting, but he's only going to see what he already knew was there.
Killing some more drones, and this is what he needs to be doing, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, because Top doesn't seem to care. He's just going to make some roaches, and he's probably going to counter push.
Yeah, 4 workers have been killed, but that means there's only a 5 drone difference. Still quite a big lead for 8 minutes into the game.
Now, I don't know if Isaac's going to be able to win this game, because last game he did some pretty good holding, but that game he killed 24 workers. This game he's killed 4 workers.
20 drone difference.
Yeah, and
he's continuing his sling aggression.
Top's probably feeling very confident right now because he knows he took very little damage, that he has a good lead. And you should be able to just straight up beat Isaac now.
What about this third going down for Isaac?
It's essentially, I believe it's going to end up acting as a macro hatch for a while because... One second.
Okay. So apparently the macro hatch, even though it's not an N-based macro hatch, it still can function as a macro hatch. It still makes units. It still makes drones. But it is that much more production. So it is an advantage over his opponent if he can make it work as one. We've got roaches and spine crawlers here for Isaac. This might actually, with reinforcers advantage, be enough to hold back this small group of roaches. But LG top just moving on here over to the third. And, oh, okay. And we have LG top targeting down this third, just like I was mentioning. Nice concave here. This third is definitely not much for this world. Becomes a drone. That drone is hiding behind the mineral line. These roaches just going to go right on home, not even trying to target that down. Oh, there it is. 2 roaches being used. These roaches going to pincer in and try to get an advantage on the roaches of Isaac. This does actually occur, and Overseer also being morphed, so Burrow is not going to be a factor. Yet again, we have LG top with a +1 missile attack. Isaac without roach upgrades at all. LG top, despite using the same build order each game, seems to have a divergent path for each possible one.
Well, I think this was the exact plan he had last game, but last game he had no con who would back it up. This game he does.
Well, and also his opponent hadn't taken such an early third.
Yeah, like that was again, I think just out of desperation, because he knew he was behind. He needed a way to get back in, and he figured, hey, if my opponent doesn't pressure a third, then I might be able to get back into this game.
Yeah. How much further behind is he now that he failed that?
He's pretty far behind. 13 drone deficit, upgrade deficit.
Well, he was already pretty far behind. I'm just saying, how much more behind is he now?
He's not much more behind, but...
Okay, so it didn't cost him that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he can't be feeling too confident right now.
Right.
His opponent just walked in, denied his third.
Okay. But yet again, he's getting his third back on up. Of course, LG Top's third is a little bit ahead, and that's why Top just went ahead, backed on up, because as the guy who's ahead with the third, he can be defensive. Isaac now is behind on tech, behind on econ, and behind on army supply. So, and he has to be the aggressor. So, it's just not looking very good.
Yeah. Isaac going for those Hydras, but I don't think they're going to be out in time. I mean, he's trying to do the same thing he did last game, but he doesn't have that huge advantage he had last game, so I don't think it's going to work out for him. Huge swell of roaches rolling in for top.
Yeah, this is a large number of roaches. Those 5 Hydras going to pop right here, though. They're not in position. Isaac actually burrows, realizes there's an Overseer, drops the GG. Pretty nice game there from Top, though.
Yeah, very just solid play from him.
Yeah, man. Well, guys, we will be moving on to part 2 here in about 5 minutes. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back with part 2. So keep your buttons on refresh.